Welcome to the Next Media Studios, where we're joined by Rick Martin, who writes for CNET Asia. Actually, we're virtually joined by Rick Martin. He's not actually here in Hong Kong. He's up in Dalian, where he's been looking at some of the most interesting tech blogs in China. Rick, what are your favorite tech blogs?
Well, there's a few. I mean, other than the ones that I write for.
Clearly a favorite.
I really like Will Moss. Well, you know, it's okay. Personally, I really like Will Moss, who actually wrote for CNET Asia before I did, and as happy as I am to write for CNET, I have to say I do miss Will's writings on there, but he's still writing on his own blog, Image Thief.
And what?
Personally, I love his writing. It's really, really funny.
What is the topic?
Will Moss is more or less a PR expert, but he does branch out into other areas, China tech and media. Most people who follow Chinese blogs or blogs of a China topic are well familiar with Will's writing.
Okay, what's another blog out there besides his that you put up there, and why?
I would say the ones that I count among the top. I have to say I really like Gang Lu. He writes this website called Mobinode, done by Bachman of the How Report. Mobinode was the one that actually won that, and he writes a lot about new Chinese startups and new companies. And he follows it very, very well, and he does it oddly enough much that most blogs don't do. He does it in both languages. He'll write a post in English and Chinese. That's impressive, and he knows his stuff. So
translating it across, which is sort of what TechCrunch is doing a bit of in the U.S. And France. They have a very popular French version of the same website. Skipping from blogs,
I would say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, you mentioned TechCrunch. I would say if there was a Chinese equivalent of TechCrunch, Ganglu's Mobinode would probably be it.
Okay. Moving on, one more, and then I want to move the discussion somewhere else to what are some of the trends of that you're seeing on the internet in China. But first, one more blog.
David Fung of Tech86. It's a new blog that just recently came out, but it's very, very impressive, and he talks about differences between technology in the West.
Okay, and what are some of the things we're seeing now in terms of trends in China that you'd like to highlight? Also, quickly to say that I'm going to put these blogs that you put in your posting about the best China tech blogs into a NetVibes page, so anybody can look at them. But what are some of the interesting technology trends that you're seeing that are unique and different coming out of China?
Coming out of China, I have to say I don't see too many technologies that are being developed here. For the most part, companies here seem to adapt technologies that were developed overseas first, and they sort of spin on them, and that's great. I have to say all the new video pages that sort of exploded last year have been quite impressive. Seeing different versions of, for example, Twitter. You'll see the Chinese.
Sorry, I've lost you again. Maybe if you can speak really loudly into the microphone.
Sure. No, I was just saying, in terms of innovative Chinese companies that are coming up, I have to say that there's a few that I really like. There's one called it's slip on, but mostly the video websites have.
Sorry, we missed the name of that one. What is the name of that one, please? We missed the name of that.
That one, I missed it as well.
Oh, you don't know the name of it. Okay. Well, let's pick something. Sure. Let's pick something else. I mean, what are some of the things that are different in terms of these trends that are unique in China websites? It might be a Facebook, but is it a Facebook that's different in some way, or an odd application use of an application?
Well, I have to say the closest thing that China has to a Facebook right now, I would have to say, is probably Xiaonei, Xiaonei, and that's very interesting. It's pretty much a Facebook clone, but it's different in that it's very connected to the schools and universities here. And so you will find that people that are attending universities and, for example, in a certain dorm, they can actually connect and get involved with all their classmates who are in a certain class or doing a certain major. You'll see networks of people who are all in the same high school, and that's very interesting. They have the ability to connect and network in that way as most people in the West would on Facebook.
And Xiaonei means what?
Xiaonei, I'm not sure exactly what it means, but it's yeah, the name means inside, but the xiao I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's a very, very interesting little website. There's another one, China Ren or China People, which is very similar to that as well. Quite popular as well.
Okay. Excellent. Anything else you'd like to add about what the world needs to know about what's happening right now in China's internet?
Well, the world is going to get a good view now come August and when the Olympics start up. But you know, it's just really good that Chinese people now have a voice, and they now have ways of getting information out, and they can also have easier access to information that's on the outside as well. Like just now, I was looking at my Twitter, and I saw, well, there's one Chinese guy. He twittered about Bjork in Shanghai and that whole incident. So it's very interesting how people are just sharing information so easily these days, as opposed to in new tools there are.
Right. That said, there is
that
said, there is censorship of the internet in China with the Great Firewall, and internet companies sign agreements that they will report any user who abuses the internet in the government's definition of that.
Yeah, I don't think this is really within anyone's control. I mean, yeah, of course, the government has to control it to a certain extent, but I think with so many new technologies developing so rapidly, I think it's very difficult for anyone to keep on top of, let alone the government. And sure, they'll try and control it to a certain extent, but there's always people that can circumvent. Chinese people that want to get their voice heard can definitely do so with.
Okay, I guess they can do so with very little time. Okay, that's excellent. Thank you very much, Rick, for joining us from Dalian, and look forward to getting an update again soon from China. Thank you. So thank you very much to Rick, and look forward to having other people joining us from China and around Asia to find out what's new and happening in the tech sphere. Thank you very much.